Let's be real, diets are kind of overrated. You seem to be going on all of these diets and be going absolutely nowhere with them. What if I told you you don't have to cut a single calorie or go on a single diet ever again? You just have to learn how to eat mindfully and eat intuitively. As someone that's tried all these different types of restrictions, such as intermittent fasting and eating less carbs, eating less sugar, eating less fats, eating less whatever, I've realized that those things don't genuinely work for the long term. The only way to create a lifestyle that is sustainable for you is by learning how to eat mindfully and learning how to eat intuitively. By the end of this video, you'll learn why going on all of these different diets is sabotaging you, and if you stick around to the end of this video, I'll also teach you how you can use the hunger scale to eat mindfully and intuitively. So let's get into it. First of all, let's get into what really is mindful eating and intuitive eating. Like, what does it actually mean to eat mindfully and to eat intuitively? Eating mindfully and eating intuitively are two different things. Eating intuitively means in touch with what your body genuinely needs. Like, does it need some carbs? Does it need energy? What type of fuel does your body need? And eating mindfully means that you're being present while you're eating that meal. So when you're eating, it's just you and the food. You're eating the food, you're feeling all the textures of the food, tasting all the flavors, smelling all the smells, and making sure you're really present with the food and not distracted, such as watching TV or lost in some deep thought or some deep conversation. Eating becomes more of a mindful activity. It's like a meditation practice instead of some chore that you have to do or something that you love so graciously and indulge yourself in. But you have to come back to the middle and be like, food is energy, and be focused on solely you and the food and how much energy this is bringing you. Doesn't matter if it's making you so happy or making you so disgusted, just think of your food as fuel. It's your energy source. Because without your food, you have no energy to go throughout your day to get your dreams and achieve your dream life. Now that you know what intuitive eating is and what mindful eating is, how does that help us? Why can't we just go on a diet and lose all our weight, right? But obviously, it's not as simple as that. When you start doing a diet, it's not actually a true lifestyle change you're actually trying to make. It's a temporary quick fix to a problem. If we truly understand the root of this problem, as to why are we gaining so much weight, it's really the fact that, first of all, we're surrounded by the fact that we have super ultra palatable foods, and second of all, because these foods are ultra palatable, we're eating more fuel than our body genuinely needs to expend or that it expends on a daily basis. And so in order to fix this, you have to learn how to eat mindfully so that you're not eating more than your body needs, because when you eat more than your body needs, it starts to store all of that excess energy as fat. And so when we go on a diet, we go through these extreme caloric restrictions that don't actually fit well with our lifestyle. And because of that, we're less likely to stick to it and go from diet to diet and go from exercise to exercise, going from running to intermittent fasting to literally every single thing that you can think of, and then finding out that none of them ever worked in the first place because you never actually solved the root problem here. By learning how to eat mindfully and intuitively, you start to tackle the root cause of this whole issue, or at least one of the root causes of this whole issue if you want to lose fat. It depends on your relationship with food. That's why you need to learn how to eat mindfully and learn how to eat intuitively. By doing that, you fix your relationship with food and you start to eat how much your body needs. You're listening to your body so that you know how much food your body needs and you eat accordingly. You don't overeat because, oh my god, the food is so good and I just want to keep on eating and eating. And you don't restrict because you think that, oh, I have to lose fat, so I literally cannot eat. You're in the middle. You know that your body needs energy and you provide it with the proper fuel to genuinely give it energy so that you can go throughout your day conquering your goals and achieving your dream life. Now you're probably thinking, okay, sure, mindful eating is good, diets are probably not a good lifestyle change to make, okay? Since you're probably wondering, okay, so how can I actually start eating mindfully and eating intuitively? If you want to learn how to eat mindfully and eat intuitively, you need to strengthen your mind-body connection. We are surrounded by hyperpalatable foods that kind of mess up our hunger signals, and especially if you've been on diets for a long time, trick yourself into eating only this much or eating only at this certain time or eating only this certain amount of calories, but in reality, you've never actually listened to your body and listened to what your body needs. So first of all, you need to fix this connection with your mind body, and you need to learn how to recognize when your body is actually hungry. I highly suggest that you download one of these hunger scale pictures and save it to your phone. This is really going to allow you to figure out, okay, when am I actually hungry? When am I full? And make sure that you don't overeat and overconsume, feel like terrible after you've done that, or deprive yourself of food and feel terrible due to that. You have to make sure that you're always like in a good zone. You cannot just be swinging from one end to the other end of the hunger scale, because you need to learn how to listen to your body and eat when it's genuinely hungry. Don't try and restrict yourself with the calories. Don't try and restrict yourself with the timing, okay? If you're hungry, then eat. It sounds super simple. It sounds super common sense. But clearly, we've forgotten this common sense because we're so caught up in diet culture. We're so caught up in losing our fat and fitting into this certain model standard, right? That we forget to listen to our own bodies. And that is absolutely not the way to go if you want to create a sustainable, healthy lifestyle for yourself. When you're starting to eat intuitively and to eat mindfully, one mindset that I want you to implement is that I can eat whatever I want. I can eat whenever I want. I just have to make sure that I am eating when I'm genuinely hungry. Not because it's 6 o'clock, not because it's breakfast so I have to eat, or not because I have to cut out carbs because that'll make me gain fat. No, you can eat whatever you want. You can eat whenever you want. You have to make sure you're genuinely hungry. And when I say whatever you want, I don't really mean whatever you want, okay? Because there are certain foods out there that'll actually make you more hungrier because of the way that it's been ultra processed and pre-digested for you. I'm referring to your chips, I'm referring to your McDonald's, I'm referring to all your fast food and all your junk food. I'm telling you to limit that. Maybe not completely avoid it, because you know what, you might have to go to it sometimes, and that's okay. Let yourself, it's okay, right? Don't put yourself down for it, okay? But just keep in mind that these foods are designed to keep you hungry and designed to keep you overeating, right? And so if you focus on vegetables and eating whole foods, then you start to genuinely feel full and stop snacking 24/7 and stop downing food like it's your whole life. Primarily focus on whole foods, and if you want to like go and have an ice cream once in a while, go ahead and eat your ice cream once in a while, because no one is stopping you. Just make sure that you aren't stuffed and putting an ice cream on top of that, okay? Make sure you have some space in your tummy. Make sure that you actually have, like, you actually need this, and then have it. Like, it's okay if that's the case. But if you're stuffed, you've had a whole dinner, and then you're having an ice cream on top, maybe we should reconsider here, because does your body genuinely want food? Will you feel more sick after eating this, or will you feel like so much lighter? And there's obviously one correct answer here. So that was all about eating intuitively by reconnecting with your body and listening to when it genuinely needs its fuel. So what about eating mindfully? How do we start eating mindfully and be present with our food? And this is the same with any type of meditation that you do, is that when you eat, you have to be fully present. Focus on your food. You know how they say focus on your breath? This time, focus on your food. Be aware of how it feels in your mouth. Be aware of all the different flavors that you taste and all the different aromas that you smell. Don't be caught up in some sort of casual entertainment while you're eating your food. Genuinely sit with your food and enjoy it, savor it, and eat slowly. Make sure to chew your food carefully and savor your food, okay? Because if you love your food so much, do you just want to slurp it down all in one bite? No, you want to savor it because you love your food. You love your food so much that you want to savor it and make sure that you eat it for a long time, right? You don't want to like eat so fast because it's so good. You want to eat slow because it's so good, because you want to savor it, right? And so that's the type of mentality that you have to kind of start to cultivate as you start eating mindfully. A good thing is to actually like put your utensils down in between while you're chewing, because if it's in your hand, you're just gonna like, and you're gonna like eat when you still have food in your mouth. And that's like, no. We're talking about eating slowly here. Eating slowly, eating mindfully, make sure the food actually goes down your throat before you put another bite in your mouth. And so now that we know all of that, what are the things that you can start implementing when you're about to have your next meal? Refer to the hunger scale and see if you're actually hungry. How long ago was your last meal? Did you just eat and are feeling randomly hungry for some reason? And if you are, maybe go drink a glass of water and maybe after 20 minutes, check in with yourself again. After you've figured out if you're genuinely hungry, make your meal and sit down at the table with no distractions, right? So make sure that TV is off, make sure your phone is off, make sure there's no music in your headphones, just you and your meal. I want you to eat slowly. I want you to look at your food, smell the different aromas, and then slowly take one bite of your food, put it in your mouth, chew it, taste the flavors, and feel it going down and into your system so it can give you all the fuel. And then slowly, after time goes on, you start to realize, oh my god, I feel so much better. I feel my food actually fueling me. And then once you're starting to feel a bit more full, then refer to the hunger scale once again. How full are you really? Just like make sure you have this plastered in front of you while you're eating, right? Because like genuinely, that's sometimes what you have to do. If you've really messed up your hunger signals and you've really been disregarding them this whole time for so many years, then it really might be a good idea for you to genuinely just look at the hunger scale as you're eating as well, right? And if you're full halfway through your meal, then it's okay to leave the food aside and eat it later, because the food isn't going anywhere. You can eat this whenever you want, you can eat how much of it whenever you want. Just be mindful and just be aware of how hungry you genuinely are. And don't eat past your threshold and don't over push it, because that's really, you know it, I know it, that it's not gonna make you feel that good in the end, especially if you're overeating. And so it's better to stop now. It's better to take a pause, it's better to leave it aside, put it in the fridge. It's not gonna go anywhere. There's no raccoons, okay? You're safe. And you can come back to it later. It's okay. Make sure you have those types of mindsets within you, right? Because it's so easy to have those mindsets of scarcity and lack around food. But genuinely, there is so much food and it's not going away from you and no one's gonna steal your food, okay? It's okay. Your mom's not gonna be mad at you anymore, okay? With that being said, I really thank you for watching this video, and I really hope that this video helps you in some sort of way into realizing how much you've been maybe disregarding your body. And if you found value in this video, consider sharing it to someone who may also use it, and comment down below the one thing that you will implement the next meal that you have. And I'm Krisha, and I will see you next week.